للذين أحسنوا الحسنى وزيادة ولا يرهق وجوههم قتر ولا ذلة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, welcome to this series of errors and correction from Al-Huda TV. Our ultimate goal of this show is to clear to our brothers Muslim men and women the errors that many Muslims fall into when they're performing ibadah. One of also the errors that a Muslim or a Muslimah fall into is actually when we talk about al-udhiyah. You know, al-udhiyah is the sheep that we slaughter on the 10th of al-Hajj. Anyone who are intend to perform slaughter al-udhiyah, he actually should not take anything from his hair or his nails. He should really keep his hair from the first day. Whether a woman or the one who is going to buy, the one who is really buying it, and he's the one actually doing it for himself and his family, he is the one should not take he should not trim, his mustache. He should not actually touch his hair. He should not cut his nails until the 10th of the Hajj. And also when you wanted to buy the sheep or the lamb, you should make sure it is very healthy. You should not buy it, it should not be blind or one eye or blooming or sick or weak. No, you should. This is because you are actually giving this. You are giving it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is not really allowed and it will not be acceptable if you buy a very sick lamb or sheep. It should be healthy. If it's goat, should be 6 months, but if it's a lamb, it should be 1 year. So this is very important. People understand that. Also, one of the things that when you slaughter it, it should be slaughtered on the 10th, but it is allowed to be slaughtered after, on the 11th, on the 12th, on the 13th. But the sunnah, the udhiyah, should be slaughtered on the 10th, but after Salat al-Eid, not before. So the one who really slaughter his sheep or his udhiyah before Salat, then it is actually will be just another like other meat. It will be just considered like other, like you just slaughter it for your own house, like other, because the udhiyah should be distributed into 3, that 1/3 for yourself, 1/3 for your brother, for your relatives, and 1/3 for the poor and needy. But it should be slaughtered after Salat al-Eid on the day of the 10th of the Hajj. Because Rasulullah ﷺ, that's what he did. He went, Rasulullah ﷺ performed Salat al-Eid in Hajj, fasting. He was fasting just only in the morning, only just after from Fajr. He went and performed Salat al-Eid, then he came back, then he slaughtered his sheep. And this is actually the sunnah. We should not slaughter it before Salat al-Eid. And then you distribute it into 3 parts, 1/3 for you, for the family, for your house, 1/3 for your relatives, and 1/3 for the needy and the poor people. Also, you should not give the butcher who is coming slaughtering your slaughter, you should not give him anything you do not give him the skin, you don't give him meat. You should give him money, unless you give him with the intention. If you give him with the intention for his family, but don't give it to him as a fee. Don't give him the meat as a fee or price for what he did. If your intention, you're giving him as a fee or a price for what he did, this is not acceptable. But if you give him some meat, you tell him this is for your family, for your children, that's allowed. And don't give him, anything from any part from your udhiyah. Also, we come to now for selling and buying. You're not allowed as a Muslim to sell anything which is not really clear for other people, to make sure people are not sure this is good or not. You should be honest. You should really tell them if there is something wrong with this merchandise you are selling. You should make it clear for them. Then it is up to him to buy it or not. But don't cover it. Don't hide anything wrong with this merchandise. You must be honest Muslim and tell him, well, I'm selling you this merchandise, but it has this and this and this. Make it clear for him. If he accepted it, fine. If he doesn't, then this is what you should do as a Muslim. Also, some people, they have extra water, and the water should given to the people, to the Muslim free. Extra water, which for you to drink, you should not really, from the Sunnah point of view, you should not sell it. You should give it free for your brothers and sisters. Also, you're not. We are Muslim. We should not really selling. First of all, holding a dog at your home, or keep it as a guard. This is the only time it is allowed. When you have the people who have in the desert, or people having some sheep and animals, they can use the dog as a guard, for their sheep, for their animals. But to keep it at home as, just to show, or it is not really recommended in Islam. Islam does not permit the Muslim to have a dog in his house, or selling it also. One of the also errors that people fall into, which we call in Islam an-najash, and this is actually if you come, you don't need to buy this merchandise. Somebody is one is selling his car, his house, and he just and somebody is actually saying the price of that merchandise or that house or this car in the auction. And then somebody come and he actually is not intended to buy it. He just want to raise the price on the other people. And this is haram. He is not intended actually to buy it. He just doing this just to harm and hurt other people, to make the price very high on them. And this is absolutely, of course, not only just error, it is also haram. Also, we are not, one of the error, especially the sellers, are falling into, that after the second adhan of Jum'ah, they should not really stop completely. Once you hear the adhan of Jum'ah, you should actually stop selling, because we're supposed to go and perform Salah Jum'ah. Or some people trying to sell something he doesn't own. How come you sell something you don't own it? How come, even if something that is not, under your possess, and you don't own this merchandise or this item, it is not allowable in Islam to sell it, or even announce about that is it for sale. Because how come you sell something it is not yours? Also, we're not supposed to sell the gold, if I don't give you the gold, it is not allowed, permissible in Islam, to sell, the gold with other gold. That means I give you gold, you give me gold. I give you silver, you give me silver. This is not allowed. الذهب بالذهب والفضة الفضة. Actually, I should sell it to you, you give me the money. After I take the money from you, then I can buy from you other gold. After I get the money. Same thing for silver. You must sell it, get the money, but you don't sell gold with gold or silver with silver. Also, unfortunately, there are some people, unfortunately, they sell things, after his brother, بيع الرجل على بيع أخيه, which means that you are not supposed, actually, one of the error that you sell something after your brother already, sold it already. Just to make sure you want to make more money, and this is absolutely haram. You're not supposed to sell, on other people. If the other people already sold this already, how come you come and you want to sell it again? This is absolutely, of course, one of the error. Also, selling the fruits which is not done yet, it is not ripe yet, and you just, you are actually deceiving other people, and you tell them that it is done, it is ripe, but it is not ripe yet. Also, one of the things that people unfortunately do is actually selling the Quran. He is actually misusing the Quran. He is actually using the Quran like merchandise. He said, I will read the Quran provided you give me this amount of money. No, this is actually an error. This is actually not supposed to. But if they give you whatever they give you, if they give you money without, putting certain amount of money for them, you don't dictate on them. You don't say, okay, I will recite the Quran provided you give me $100 or $300. No, you just read. If they give you something, a gift for what you did, fine. But if they don't, you should not support. You should not really emphasize or put certain amount of money. And also, one of the errors some people fall into, they borrow money from others, and they have the intention not to pay it back. And this is, of course, could consider be, stealing. If you really intended not to give this money back, you should not borrow it. But if you really have the intention to pay it back, Allah will help you. Allah will help you to pay it back. Also, sometime, Muslim, when they walk in the street or they entered in a place, they might find some item fall in the floor, which we call it al-laqata. And what he does or what she does, she pick it up and then she keep it for herself or he keep it for himself. This is not, of course, allowed. This is a very major error from a Muslim. The correct thing to do is you should really announce and you should say to other people, I found this, and you give this. And then anyone who comes, just ask him the description. Okay, I have, let's say, a mobile. I found a mobile. Tell me, okay, what type, what company, what color. You should, but don't keep it for yourself. Whatever you pick up from the floor is not yours. You should make an announcement about it. Brothers and sisters, we come to conclude this episode. We look forward to see you, inshallah, soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها